That is when I knew I've already gotten admission and funding, because
Your recommendation letter, so you applied to 16 schools.
if I had traveled back home, I don't think I'll be here.
Yeah, wow. And that's why for me, I don't envy anybody, because the truth is that the starting point is different for everybody.
I used to be addicted to WhatsApp until I came to the United States, when I became very addicted to the email.
Especially when it comes to emails, right? The more professional you are, the more serious you appear, and the more opportunities you are going to get. It's really that simple.
So I did that, and all those schools I got into. So there is power in strategic code emails. If you master the craft work, I was like, is this real? Like, what is this? Because I was that broke to the point that, I didn't believe where I was going, because I realized I was getting closer. So when I mentioned environmental communications, then she was like, oh, really? What is environmental communication? And honestly, all the 50 questions I had prepared for, that question was not part of it. Evans, introduce yourself. I was always changing my research topic.
And you have a job now. Tell me about the process.
So I spoke with one of my professors. She gave me the tricks. Okay, Evans, change the CV, because I think she sat on a committee where she knew what goes into it.
How were you able to convince them that you can do the job? Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. The end goal is what you are always looking at. The only country where there are scholarships is US. You are coming here with loan, Empower loan. Congratulations. When I take a picture, right now as I'm sitting, you and I, we are looking fresh.
But you're a fine boy, so a fine boy. Are there other schools that you recommend for the person?
A lot of brilliant schools that they can look from the University of Colorado Boulder, even my caring school,
All right, before we start, consider subscribing to the channel. This helps me so much. Thank you. EVAGAS, I'm very excited about this conversation, because you are somebody in this space just like me, and you share a lot of insights, and you have a lot of knowledge about the study abroad process. And I'm very sure that my subscribers are going to learn a lot from this conversation. Yeah. How about you tell me about why you create videos for international students? Why are you passionate about it?
So yeah, thank you very much. It's been a lot. I've been off a little for some time now, because I was trying to take a break and figure things out for now. But when you reached out, I was like, no, I will still do something.
Thank you.
But I can't let my senior man down. Yeah, so I think I'm passionate about helping people just because of my encounter, in terms of how things were not really going the way I expected it after I was done my national service in Ghana. Okay. And I was in contact with some friends. I realized, they were able to come study abroad. They had certain GPAs that I also had those GPAs. So I was like, okay, if they had GPA second class and they are coming and I also have second class, it means I can also come. So the challenges and the things that I went through as a result applying on my own is what really motivated me. And I was like, you know what? A lot goes into sending code emails, finding schools that are not taking any test scores, finding schools that are giving automatic scholarships and all of that. So if I come to the United States, I will then begin to also teach people like the or the way the how I went about the study abroad. So that is what really motivated me. I just want to see students succeed. I want to see students become successful one day when they are at the top. They might not mention my name though, but once I see someone at the top and I know that I contributed to the person's success story, it also gives me some fulfillment,
Yeah, that's good. On all social media, your name is EVAGAS. So where did it come from? I know you are Evans, but why EVAGAS?
So it's Evans Asante Japan. So it's just the first two initials of my name. So EV Evans AG Japan, then AS Asante. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's interesting. Wow, nice. When did you finish your national service?
In 2022. Yeah, I started 2021, finished 2022. Yeah.
2022, and you came to the US in 2023.
Yeah.
Oh wow. You mentioned the GPA. What do you mind sharing what your GPA is?
Yeah, I had second class upper, so it was good enough for me to apply to schools and also get through, because some schools at that time they can only waive the GRE or the test scores for
Yeah.
you if you have a second class upper. So it really helped me to skip like some of those
Mm,
requirements, and it was
yeah.
very, yeah.
You mentioned that your friends traveled, and so that made you realize that with your GPA you can also come. If they hadn't traveled, would you have considered a different path, like doing masters in Ghana or working in Ghana or something?
Yeah, I was actually trying a lot of different things when I was
Mm,
in Ghana.
okay.
I even tried, in Germany they have the DAT scholarship, so I
Yeah.
tried it and I did the interview, but I didn't qualify to the final stage. So
Mm,
it just got to a point for me. I was like, you know what? I know the other scholarships in other countries.
yeah.
Just because I want to put in much effort, I want to really concentrate on US schools
Mm,
and nothing else. So I think that was like the epiphany for me, where I was like,
yeah.
some of my friends have done it. I think I'll be able to do it. Let me just push for it. So the GPA helped, and also the friends that had already come to the state, I was able to contact them, and they were able to
Mm,
tell me, oh, I did it this way. I did it this way. Do it like this.
yeah.
And some of them to help me pay some of the application fees, which I'm very grateful for, and wherever they are, God
Mm,
bless them.
mm.
Yeah.
So for your personal journey, how did you do it?
It was, I don't know how to put it, but sometimes when I say it like this and someone is watching, they might think, oh, he suffered, so he wants me to suffer. But it's not like that. At the end of the day, I wouldn't tell you it's easy, whilst I know it's
Yeah.
not easy.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of work must go into
Yeah.
you putting in like the work and doing it by yourself and not using any third parties or any
Yeah.
agent like myself. I
Yeah.
took almost, I started like when I was done with school in 2021,
Mm,
around October. Some of my friends had already applied, and by 2022, they were in the States.
mm.
And I
Wow.
started in 2021, but I felt I was not ready. So
Mm,
I stopped and I was like, okay, I'm going to use the whole of 2022 to put in an application and
yeah.
target the following year, the fall semester in 2023, because
Mm,
most of the times scholarships are in the fall semester as compared to
yeah.
the other semesters like the spring and the summer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I took the whole of 2022, started reaching out to my professors, and I started putting in my documents, gathering the documents, the
Mm,
SOPs, the statement of purpose, and the academic CV. So it was 2022 that I used into like preparing, reaching
okay.
out, and I started applying in August 2022. And by August, September, October, November, I had applied to almost like 10 schools,
Mm,
just because of how I was proactive about me being intentional and talking to my professors. And because it's not easy for a professor to recommend you for almost
yeah.
16 schools. I applied to 16 schools. It's not easy.
16. Wow.
Yeah.
Why 16 schools?
The more you apply, the more your
That's
chances
true. Yeah.
of getting into them. Because, like I said, I had friends that had gone already, and some of them they told me, Evans, I applied to just two. I got rejection with one, and I got accepted into one.
Mm,
If I were to be in Ghana again to apply again, I would apply to 5 or 10 schools. So
mm,
that is the advice that I took from my friends, and I was like, okay, I'm going to apply to 16 schools. However, I don't have any money. I don't have any savings. I was taking
yeah.
some change when I was doing my national service and all of that. So I was like, okay, how do I go about it? So I
Yeah.
think sometimes what stops people or what prevents people is the capital or the money aspect of it.
Yeah.
Oh, study abroad, but I have to gather money and have some huge investment somewhere. Bro, I didn't have them. It's just the courage and the
Mm,
passion and how
yeah.
like serious I was with the whole process. At the end of the day, I applied to all these 16 schools and I paid for just three. All the
Mm,
rest were free application waivers that I got, including University of Colorado Boulder, where I got a fully funded scholarship.
mm,
I didn't pay for that school in terms of application fees. It was a free application week that I applied and I got into. So you can imagine. And the three schools that I paid for, I didn't even pay it with my money. My friends abroad who had come, because they saw the passion and the
Yeah.
hunger, decided to help me pay for some of the schools.
Mm. What are some of the schools you applied to out of the 16 schools?
So I applied to Illinois State University,
Mm.
Redbird. I applied to Northern Illinois University.
Mm.
I applied to University of Northern Iowa. I applied to University of Colorado Boulder. I applied to University of Alabama. Recently, there's even a free application week for University of
Yeah.
Alabama. So I applied during that time. I also applied to University of Maine in Orono. I
Yeah.
also applied to Utah State University. I also applied to, yeah, I think those are the ones that I can remember for now. It's been 2 years and counting.
Yeah.
So,
That's yeah. Yeah. And how many offers did you get?
I got 5 fully funded scholarship.
Wow.
Yeah,
5.
yeah.
Which ones give you fully funded scholarships?
So Utah State University gave me fully funded offer. University of Colorado Boulder gave me an offer. University of Northern Iowa gave me an offer. University of Illinois State University gave me an
Mm.
offer, and Northern Illinois gave me an offer as well.
You should have come to Northern Illinois because you'd have met me here.
You are at NIU
Yeah, I'm at NI, yeah.
currently.
Yeah.
Oh, I see,
But
I see, I see, I
but I'm
see.
almost done actually. Hopefully. We'll see how things go.
You've done well. If I
Shall I?
check your journey and where
Uh
you've really done well.
people people I sometimes, when I was speaking with Sam Charles, he was talking about, sometimes he doesn't feel like he's done anything in his life, even when people are saying, "Oh, I look up to you" and stuff like that. And I try to give myself some credit, but there are times that I feel like the mistakes were too many. I made too many mistakes. So if I can go back, I think by now I should be a professor. And there are so many, there are so many aspects, so many decisions that I made that I probably wouldn't make if I should. Like, there are so many things that I know now that, I made so many mistakes, that kind of thing. But I mean, it's all good. I can't complain. Those things, they've taught me a lot. So I'll
Yeah,
take it like that.
from it. That is what I was about to say. At least it's something to study you a lot about life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll take it like that. Yeah. Thanks. So the five, you got 5 offers. Why did you decide to go to the University of Colorado at Boulder?
One, it was because of the money.
Oh,
The money
okay.
was very, very,
A
very good.
lot. So you're
Yeah.
a rich man now.
I'm a like before people will start coming into my DM.
But you
You
have
see,
money, give them some.
the money was good actually. It was I was
Nice.
being paid just as how they were paying their PhD students. So you can
Wow.
imagine master
Yeah.
students getting the same amount that the
Yeah.
PhD students were getting. That was the
Mm,
first one. I will not lie about it.
yeah.
And the second one too, like you see how you are going to a particular school where you check
Yeah.
the environment of the school and just fall in
Yeah.
love with it. So I
Mm,
was just checking the environment, campus. I was seeing this, the name Boulder is like a big rock. So
mm,
I was like, the mountains, very
yeah.
beautiful. And in Ghana, I come
Yeah.
from the eastern part of Ghana. I'm a Kwahu guy. So
Mm,
I grew up seeing the mountains and all that. So I was like, okay, I think this is something that I really resonate with in terms of
yeah.
the nature.
Yeah.
Let me just go there and give it a shot. And for the most part, I would say the specialization was also a factor in terms of the organizational communication that I was going to do. That was actually my major. So I was like, I think this is something that I really love as compared to the other places that I got. So let me just go to this particular school.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. When I spoke with Dari, he mentioned the fact that he applied to University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign because of the name of the school. The name sounded nice to him, and yeah, and for you too, one of the reasons is because of the boulder and the stone and the landscape. Like that makes sense. Yeah. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes as an international student, it's not always about um how competitive the program is. Sometimes all you are thinking about is the money. You don't care. You're like, oh yeah, let me get the money, and then once I'm done, I'll take care of other things. But you get into the program and then you realize that nah, you shouldn't have just gone into any program because
Yeah,
yeah, because it is when you finish that you realize that you've made a mistake. That you should have
absolutely.
actually targeted better schools which are going to give you better opportunities and exposure. It's one of those things that personally I look back, I'm like, man, I had a lot of prospects in the way, like I was that guy, and then a lot of series of, but it's
That
all good.
you are making a very substantial point in terms of
Yeah,
like you have to check because University of Colorado Boulder is an
mm,
R1 university and
yeah,
a very good school.
yeah,
So I think that is where sometimes people don't check where they are
mm,
like, oh,
yeah,
let me just go because of the name or because of them. All those things are good. But at the end of
yeah,
the day, you also have to look at the impact in terms
yeah,
of where you want to be in future and how
yeah,
that will contribute to that. Because
yeah,
when you come to America, sometimes they make it sound as if the schools you go doesn't matter. But
yeah.
I believe the
They
school you
matter.
actually go
Yeah,
in the
to some
United States.
extent. Yeah,
Yeah.
to some extent they matter. Like I personally, I can say that to some extent they matter, and most of us we look at the short-term benefits instead of looking at the long term, right? So
Absolutely.
by looking at the short term, we end up making a lot of mistakes. This is why
Absolutely.
sometimes when I'm talking to people, I want them to correct, like not make the mistakes that I made, but then they don't want to understand. They just think, oh, you know,
Sometimes they have to come and experience it before.
yeah. Yeah, that's the thing with we human beings. Until you go through something yourself, you just
Absolutely.
never understand it when somebody tells you, right? So
That's
it's one
right.
of those things. So University of Colorado, you got a waiver. The waiver, you said you applied during the free application fee week.
Yeah.
Was there a requirement to get the waiver, or it was just once you apply within the week, you get the waiver? For some
So
schools, they will tell you we require minimum GPA of something. So that's why I'm asking this question.
yeah, shout out to my friend who
Mm,
completed from University of Maine, Orono. I came the same year with him, and we
okay.
were doing the schools together. And that is one
Mm,
advice I'll pass. If you are doing this and you are in Ghana or you are an international student everywhere, sometimes a collective action or collective effort really
yeah.
pushes each other
Yeah.
to really strive. Because, like I said, it could be a lot of like work.
Yeah.
So I was there. My friend came to me. He was like, "Bro, University of Colorado Boulder, they have this free application week. Let's apply
Mm,
for it."
yeah.
So I think the time that he told me, Boulder gave like just 1 month period to put in an application, like if even if you are out of state.
Okay.
So when he told me there was no specific requirement. They
Yeah,
just
okay.
said apply to any program within
Mm,
this period of time.
yeah.
So because it was just within 1 month, I needed to write a statement. Because one thing I did was that I didn't use one statement of purpose for all my schools. My statement of
Mm,
purpose were very different. So I was like, okay, I'm going to sit down and write this statement of purpose. They needed like 1,000 words. That was the only statement of purpose that I exceeded 2 pages. I had like almost 3 pages because
wow.
they said 1,000 words. So I was like, okay, this one I'm going to pour my heart on it.
Mm,
So I wrote everything, gathered recommendation letters, everything set. I submitted. It was like a day before the deadline. I
wow.
submitted in the international um, school because for the most part, they are charged of tracking those things. They reach out to me. They
Mm,
said, "We are very sorry. The budget that we made for the free application week is over. You
oh,
didn't have
wow.
early, so we can't accept the application." I'm like, the thing
Wow.
that I use all these weeks to prepare just a day before the deadline. You said I didn't put like my application in
Yeah.
because you've received other applications and the budget
Yeah.
for the waiver has been.
Has run out. Yeah.
So I was like, so that is when the code email came in. So I was already doing code emails, but when the international student told me that, I was like, okay, fine, that is you. I'm going to reach out to their specific department that I apply to and tell
Yeah.
them I have put in an application to your department based on this free application week that the university wide like was.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the university is telling me my
Mhm.
applications cannot get through.
Yeah.
What do you think I can do about this? So I sent this professor a message which now we are very good friends. Even this week, I called him. We were just talking.
Mm.
So I reached out to him, and by that time, he was the graduate director.
Coordinator. Okay,
Yeah.
director. Yeah.
So he was like, "Oh, Evans, sorry to hear about that. Can you write in 2 paragraphs why you want to apply to our program and what piqued your interest to apply to our program?"
Mm.
Okay, I didn't waste time. I just went to my statement of purpose, checked because there was a paragraph in my statement of purpose where I
Yeah.
indicated what motivated me to apply to their program. So I just copied that part, posted it, and it was very apt, to be honest. How I wrote it, anytime I go back to that email, I was like, man, because I was there talking about, I have read this professor's book, I've read this professor's research interest. They
Wow.
do this, even their recent publication on this spoke about this, and this is something that I'm really interested in, and it really fascinates me, and this is what I want to do. So I
Wow.
wrote it to the professor, and the professor told me, Evans, I'll be part of the committee, and also I'm going to reach out to international office so that they can let your application come to. That is
Yeah.
when I knew I've already gotten admission and funding, because
Wow.
University of Colorado Boulder was automatic scholarship. Once you get admission, you are fully funded.
Yeah.
They will not fund you. They will not even give you admission
Yeah.
in the first place. So
Yeah.
did that, and that didn't just affect me. It also affected other colleagues that had the backlog in the communication department. So other people that are applied, that the international student had told them that the time is over, we are short of budget. Because I went to send a code email, they waived it for the backlog. So my friend, who was also backlogged, now also got into,
Wow.
like, he got his
Wow.
application through.
Wow. Okay. Good. Wow. Nice. Yeah, you talked about why you chose the school and some of the professors you wanted to work with in your SOP. What
Yeah.
are some of the things that you put in the SOP that made your application stand out?
I think with statement of purpose is quite straightforward. Just go to the
Mm.
department website. Every institution will tell you at least 2 or 3 things they want you to include. That doesn't mean just talk about that and send the statement of purpose. That is what some people do. Some people are like, okay, the code requirement, the requirement is they're looking for 4 things. I
Yeah.
captured 4 things in my statement of purpose, so that is it. No, capture the things on the department and add something to it, flex it with your own experience and all of that. So
Mm.
that was what I was doing. What was CU Boulder saying on their website in terms of what they want
Mm.
in their statement of purpose? Okay,
Yeah.
at least you should be able to identify professors that your interests aligns with them. So I was like, okay, I think I've done that.
Yeah.
Talk about, aside that, what really motivated you to apply to CU Boulder among
Mm.
all the other schools? Colorado alone has like almost 5 to 6 universities. Why this particular school?
Yeah.
And the third thing is also, after school, what do you want to do? Do you want to get a PhD, postdoc?
Mm.
Or you want to go into industry? Talk about that, because what I just mentioned, every school expects these 3 things, but they will say it
Yeah.
in different ways. Every school are going to expect these 3 things that I just mentioned. So I was just like, okay, let me just flow. And in Ghana, I was using the storytelling approach to write most of my recommendation letters. So I'll just give the story. I did this, and this is what motivated me at this point in time. I decided I wanted to venture into this because at that time, I didn't really have research background and in like focus like that. Things have changed a little bit, honestly. Now they are looking for a lot of things, and things are not the same 2 years ago and all of that. So now when I'm talking to people, I tell them, look at the trend, what is happening, what do you think you can more, or what do you think you can do better than what I did 2 years ago? Because if you want to use my own style, you might stay in your home country for a very long time. Try to do certain different things.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I mean, in the past, let's say if 1,000 people were applying, now we have like 5,000 people. So every little thing matters. Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you didn't have any publication, right? When you
I
were
did
coming.
publication, the work that I worked on in Ghana. That is just what I use for my
Yeah,
thesis. That was the only publication I had, honestly.
yeah, yeah. Right now, if you have it, it's going to be helpful because you're going to compete with so many people. Even if
Really,
it's not a top publication, at least once you've written something down, it helps a lot. Yeah.
people are intentional about that. Some people that I talk to, some international students, I know
Mm,
people who deliberately go to universities to link up with professors to volunteer with them,
mm,
submit to conferences, manuscripts, and all of that. People have been very intentional. And honestly, if I'm in that position where I'm choosing that person over someone who hasn't done anything at all ever since they completed,
yeah.
I'm going to go for that person because
Exactly.
universities in the United States, I will say it, but at the end of the day, it's a business. All the
Yeah.
universities here, like it's
Yeah.
business oriented. They are looking for what they will get from you. Aside,
Exactly.
you are also going to get something from them. Honestly,
Yeah. Yeah. They want the best people, and how do you show you are the best? You know, by having some works already, right?
absolutely.
That always helps. There's one student that I coached, for his visa interview, who came this fall, and one of the I think University of California Davis or something, and he had more or less a publication, more like a research with the professor in the school who was going to be his advisor. So they started working on something, and so he has full funding. When he goes, they are going to finish the thing and then publish it and all of that. And you can clearly tell that the fact that they had some work going on, that kind of research they were doing, gave him the opportunity to come, because if there wasn't anything like this, then probably he wouldn't have gotten the full funding. So now it's difficult, so you cannot use the old strategies. You want to adapt, you want to know what is going on, like he said, you want to know what is trending. And
It's a lot of
then
work, but you still have to put it in because I remember my time when I
mm,
started, I wanted to apply. I was looking at people in my communication field who
yeah,
were making waves in the United States. So there was
mm,
this lady that I was looking up to, like
yeah,
she was into health communication. So I was like,
yeah,
"Ah, I really love what she's doing in the United States. But
mm,
sometimes the mistake we do is that we admire what people have already been made up of instead of
yeah,
trying to go back to how they started because I
yeah,
feel that is where things were
yeah,
made.
that's true.
It's not their current state. It's actually when
Exactly.
put from and the track changes with
Yeah.
uh, the roller coasters that. So I was like, okay, let me pick this lady.
Mm,
Amazing things in the United States, publishing and going for conferences. That is fine. Let me go back when she was in Ghana. What was she doing? So
exactly.
when she was in Ghana, she was volunteering, breast cancer awareness, and
Mm,
oh, that gingered me. I was
yeah.
staying Osu. I went to Osu Police Hospital. I was like, please, I want to volunteer.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
yeah. It was that serious. And
Wow.
I, at the end of the day, it motivated me to do that. Although later I was like, I think I have other things that I can leverage on aside me
Yeah.
going to do that. But the friend that I was talking about, the one who went to University of Maine, he
Yeah.
actually went to volunteer 6 months, 2, 3 months for a community hospital in his area just because he reached out to a professor and the professor told him to do that. That even 2 years
Wow.
ago, you get a point. So at
Yeah.
the end of the day, it should tell you that you have to be intentional with some of the
Yeah.
set things to conferences. Sometimes you can submit without even like having the money to go and all of that. But at least
Yeah.
just acceptance letter and all of that can push you and put you through.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Did you have a background in communication before you
Yeah.
came
So
to the US?
yeah. So I went to UCC, and I know you are
Okay.
also a
Wow,
student.
UCC. Wow,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. So in UCC, I did communication studies. I just hated numbers,
Oh,
so I
okay.
wanted to do
Ah,
something that
yeah.
was not numerical. So I did communication studies more
Okay.
towards journalism and all of that.
Mm,
And I applied for communication um, programs here in the United States. And it's kind of a bit different communication and communications. So
mm,
what I did in Ghana was more practical aspect, but in the United States, and the course that I did was very theory dense. And if you are not really
mm,
someone who loves academia,
yeah.
all of that, it wouldn't be for you.
Mm, nice. UCC trained you very well. UCC, they will train you very well, man. Charlie.
That's what has a lot of great minds in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you finish your bachelor's degree, did you work as a TA?
So when I got my so the national service, I did it at the national security as a
Mm.
national signals bureau as an emergency call dispatcher.
Oh wow.
I didn't serve as a TA, but because I love teaching and higher education, I
Mm.
volunteered at Osu Salem Senior High. They were not paying me. I was just volunteering. I wanted
Wow.
to get the experience. And that was after my national service. And I
Wow.
was also volunteering at Ghana Methodist University, Methodist
Wow.
University, Ghana. I was also volunteering there, helping one or two staffs and also taking
Yeah.
some classes at that place before I got a job with this private company, Majoro Ghana, where I was a
Mm.
content analyst. And
Wow.
that was where I was working before I got the school and the scholarship and I left.
Wow. The reason I ask you this, some students they ask me, "Oh, I wasn't a TA. Is that going to affect me?" And looking at your story, they can actually take a lot from this, right? It's like, okay, yes, I didn't get a chance to be a TA, or I chose not to be a TA because I wanted to make more money outside the university. Fine, but then what else can you do to help you prove that you can teach well, or you have some teaching experience by volunteering, right? So that's wow, that's amazing.
And at the end of the day, what about those who were TAs but still couldn't make it to study abroad? I
Yeah,
had some TA friends
exactly.
who were passionate and very, they wanted to
Mm,
study abroad. And some of them, they became TAs because they knew it would be easier for them in terms
yeah,
of recommendation letters.
yeah,
As we speak, and I'm not saying this to shade them or something, but
yeah,
most of them couldn't. So it's all about the intentionality and you
yeah,
planning it because you can do whatever thing you want to do after school and still make it to study abroad, depending on how you go about it.
yeah. That's true. Yeah, my time when I finished my TA work, that this is 2016, and at the time we're about 10 years or so, and I was the only one who left. So being a TA doesn't mean necessarily you're going to get into a US school, or like
Yeah,
you're going to study abroad. The application process, it's not straightforward. It's not one thing. Some people say, "Oh, my GPA is this," or "I have no, no, no." It's everything together, and also the people you are competing with, the school you're applying to, the competition in that school, how your SOP, being able to show that the program is important to you. So it's like so many things put together. So
yeah.
people think it's one thing in isolation, but that's not how things work. Yeah,
And at
uh,
first, they used to really consider certain specifics.
yeah,
Oh, who has the higher GRE,
yeah,
who has
yeah,
the higher SAT scores, and all of that.
yeah.
A lot happened and a lot keeps happening with the higher education system in the
Mm-hmm.
United States. And
Yeah.
there's been series of even legal proceedings where they've had to waive some of these things. Why is it that COVID came and they waived some of these things? And
Yeah.
they are still waived because first, when you are outside of the United States and you are thinking of studying abroad, you are also thinking about, oh, I have to go and write the test scores,
Yeah.
IELTS or whatever, the
Yeah.
Duolingo. And that alone was putting people off. But
Oh,
now
yeah.
it's not the case. They don't
Yeah.
just work on certain things and
Yeah.
get strong application and you can enter, honestly.
Yeah. Your recommendation letter, so you applied to 16 schools. How easy was it for you to get recommendation letters because of the fact that you were not a TA at the time? So it means that you had to go back to your former, like UCC, and speak with professors and stuff like that. How easy was that?
So because I was proactive about the whole process, when I was graduating, I went with a poster note and I was going to office to my professors. Whilst people were graduating and celebrating and taking pictures, I was talking to some professors when I went for my graduation.
Oh, wow.
It
Mm.
was it was more about, okay, this is what I want to do. Out of all the process, which ones are easy? You put that aside. Which ones
Yeah.
are difficult? You spend more time on it. So that is what I was doing for almost
Yeah.
3 to 4 months. I spent time on building strategic relationships with my professors. It was not
Mm.
easy. But at the end of the day, my class were like I was like CMS 200. That was
Mm.
and the 200 means student number 200. And I had
Oh,
people,
okay.
and that was how many we were, my cohort,
Mm.
my batch.
Yeah.
Professor might not know me. Even if I didn't talk like that in class, I'll be at the back somewhere, even if I'm in
Yeah.
front, I'll not talk. So how is Professor Maxwell or Professor B going to know me whilst I was not an active student? I was not even
Exactly.
a course rep. I was just one course rep for the whole 4 years in UCC. I was just one course rep, and that was even an elective course. It was not my.
Yeah.
So it was difficult. But one thing that helped me was that you know, I I was going to church at the time, and the campus ministry, our patron was an administrator at the
Mm.
UCC. He was in charge
Okay.
of international programs.
Mm.
So I was like, okay, I think I can use him. Like, I can reach out
Yeah.
to him for him to, because he knew me personally, because in church
Mm.
I was also taking a role in church. I
Yeah.
was very active. And I also realized, okay, because I realized at the point it was going to be difficult with my professors.
Yeah.
Even including my supervisor at the time, I knew it was going to be difficult because
Yeah.
I really got to know my supervisor just because I was working on a project.
Mm.
So one thing I did was that, okay, my supervisor I knew was going to recommend me, but I figured he normally used the department recommendation letter, which I didn't like.
Mm.
The department recommendation letter was too generic. I
Yeah.
wanted something personal. So, and I couldn't blame him because, like I said, it was just the project that got me
Yeah.
connected with him. That was all. So I was like, okay, I think I have done theater art a little, and that was when I was in UCC. I just volunteered as a I just worked with the stage performance. So I did theater arts in UCC. So I had links there. So the the dean of the HOD of
Yeah.
theater and music, I knew him very personally, so I was like,
Mm.
okay, I can use him. So I checked that and I was like, okay, now I need one specific professor in my department.
Mm.
Who am I going to look to? So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I think I can reach out to this professor. Because I was doing that because I wanted someone who, like, when I go to and I'm applying to 10 schools, they can always be there too. Because
Yeah.
some professors that you were not very close to, they can just do like one or two for you and
Yeah.
they wouldn't be willing to.
The
Even the
deadline will pass and they
yeah,
are not even submitted.
and even the ones that I knew personally, it got to a point when they submitted like the 11, 10
Yeah.
schools, we got fed up.
Yeah.
So it was just me looking for people that they will always be there to recommend me. I
Yeah.
would say it was not easy, but because I planned that ahead of time and I had ample time to really
Yeah.
look into it, eventually it was easy.
Mm. Yeah. I mean, your story is very incredible. Like you were very intentional throughout the process. You knew what you wanted and you were taking steps all the way through. Somebody will say, "Oh, Ivan's got 5 full funding offers, so yeah, it's not that hard." It means that I can, but listen to you, man. The things you had to do, you were already thinking ahead of time, and that's what a lot of people don't do. They just think, oh, when I'm ready, I'll just reach out to the professor, and then. But sometimes, yeah, it's not. And you also knew that getting all from your department may be difficult, so you had other people as well to support, which is always helpful. That's really amazing.
It was the hunger. When you are hungry, where I was staying at Osu, it was just
Charlie,
sometimes I just don't want to have
yeah,
images of the treatment that I was getting in
mm,
Osu, but the kind of situation that I was in, like I didn't even need any motivation from anybody at the time.
yeah,
Honestly, like myself became my own self motivator because I realized once I'm able to sail through,
yeah,
I wouldn't have to worry about certain things. And to the glory
yeah,
of God, we are not there yet, but
yeah.
God has been
We are
faithful.
getting closer. We've
Yeah.
made a lot of progress. Yeah. So when you say the situation, is it like, family background? Like I come from a poor background, so maybe I don't know if that's what you mean. Is it like, difficult, background or something? Was that the case?
Yeah, I'm a first gen college
Yeah, first,
student.
yeah.
Yeah, first to do it in
The struggle
family.
is not Charlie.
So
Uh,
it's not like someone did it in a family, but like for my family, like my father, my mom's side,
yeah,
and coming to the United States to study, I was the
Charlie.
first person to
Yeah,
act- you be able to achieve that height. So
yeah,
it was not really easy for me,
Yeah.
especially looking at where I was coming from. I come from a very far away place in the eastern part of Ghana, you know.
Mm,
So
yeah.
I look
It's not
back
easy.
and I was like, I'm not going to go back after I'm done with school. So I was staying in Accra. I stayed in Accra for almost 2 years, but I didn't know any relative in Accra. I was just on my own,
Oh
hustling and
wow.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh, so you came from Eastern region, you came to UCC to study. After you
Yeah,
studied, you went to Accra for your national service, and
I
then you
stayed.
stayed in Accra after school. You decided not to go back because you felt there wasn't a lot of opportunities back home for you.
If
So you
I had
stayed in Accra, you were hustling.
if I had traveled back home, I don't think I'll be here.
Yeah, wow. That's yeah. This is what people don't know. You know, when I was at UCC, people thought I was from a rich home and all of that. But if I tell my story, sometimes I say that if I tell my story to people, they will even cry for me because they don't know where I came from. They don't know what I've had to deal with and a whole lot of things. They don't know my story. So when I come in, I'm like, put in the work. They think, oh, you. The only thing I had for me, the only thing that I had was the fact
Yeah.
that, oh, I was a bit intelligent. And so I didn't even have to learn and then I could easily, you know, yeah. So that was man, my life. People don't know. So yeah, I mean,
Even aside being a bit intelligent, I feel like it's just I'm just trying to reiterate like what you said,
yeah,
what some child says. Sometimes you look back and you are like, what have I even done? But it seems there are a lot of people who really look up to you.
yeah,
Sometimes I feel is the you might not be like the brightest. You might not be the and some of us I always say this like there are some people still in Ghana who might come here and do some amazing stuff,
yeah,
even more than some of us who are already here. No
yeah,
doubt about it.
yeah,
But sometimes it's not just about being the smartest or sometimes being it's just the information and
yeah,
being the hunger. You see, when you are
yeah,
hungry for something, no matter where the information is,
yeah,
you will strive to go there and get it just to better yourself because of the situation that you find
yeah,
yourself in. And that is what I can say, like even to
yeah,
myself. There are some people in my family that are like far gone in terms of a lot of stuff. But I was like, okay, I think I also got something. And what I have got is the fact that I
yeah,
don't give up. I don't give up.
yeah,
I hate to be denied. So I'm going to push
yeah,
for it till it gets to the final part of it and just make it.
yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah. And that's why for me, I don't envy anybody because the truth is that the starting point is different for everybody.
They're
For
all
some of
different.
us, yeah, for some of us, if we tell you the story, I mean, if your father is, when I was talking to some child, I was telling him that, if Bill Gates is your father,
Mhm.
automatically you have all the resources, and also naturally he's going to pass something to you, and so like through the DNA. So it's like
Yeah.
you're going to have some smartness, some intelligence passed on to you by
Mhm.
virtue of being a son of Bill Gates or whatever. So yeah, you already have an advantage over so many people. So for some of us, man, where we come from, where we come from, man,
Do it
it's a
on your
long
own
shot,
from
honestly.
scratch. Like you just have to do it on your own. And
Yeah,
sometimes you are just in that space where you can feel the burden. You are like,
yeah,
bro, if
yeah,
that uncle of yours or that father of yours was a billionaire,
yeah,
this process would have been easier for
yeah,
you. But
yeah,
now it's not the case, and you
yeah,
have to chart your own path, and it's not
yeah,
easy. And I feel
yeah,
sometimes that is all about life. When you are
yeah,
thinking about life,
yeah,
it's very transient. We are all coming in and we will be leaving very soon.
yeah,
At the end of the day, just we might not be billionaires, we might
yeah,
not be millionaires, but at
yeah,
least also find that space where you'll be good and okay, and you don't
yeah,
have to break or you don't have to be in a situation where
yeah,
you'll be owing someone or something. But like you are also good in your own space. You might not
yeah,
be popular, you might not be famous, but you
yeah,
are also good in your own way,
yeah. We'll just give our best. That's all we can do. For some of us,
That's
the the rich person may have a upper bound or something like upper limits, right? Their limits may be much higher because everything is there. But then, depending on your background, you may also can push yourself higher. But then, the limit may be a bit lower or something, and which is fine. If we can be comfortable in our lives and we can make an impact, that's okay. We will take that every day. Because the reality is that, I have this friend of mine. I always see her and I'm like, you should be happy with your life, but sometimes she's not. She feels like she's behind and stuff. I'm like, no, no, no. There are millions of people who want to be like you, right? So
Absolutely.
sometimes, yeah.
Absolutely. Obinya, why?
Obinyama, yeah. Obini is the same way, yeah, as they say, yeah. You are somebody who, in a way, is an expert in cold email. So, what is a good cold email? If I want to send a cold email, what should I include? What is the best time to send it? Do I need to send it after I submit application or before the application opens? Like,
A good code email is not using ChatGPT to copy the details of your professor online and just using ChatGPT to help you to resend a message
yeah,
back to the professor. A good code email is not you telling your professor, "Thank you very much, God bless you. If I had not met you, I wouldn't be here." A good code email is not you trying to go into the DM of your professor to fanfu them. A good code email is not you trying to say something that is not true, about your
yeah,
professor. I'm just talking about some of the pet
yeah,
peeves that professors don't really like, or some of
yeah,
the things happening with the trends that have been seen on
yeah,
social media. I know AI has come and is doing its own thing. If you want to use AI, please use it ethically. The reason why
yeah,
I'm saying this is because people use ChatGPT to help them craft code emails, and ChatGPT is going to insert things that might probably
yeah,
be not what the professors are into. That
yeah,
is a total red flag. A professor cannot work with you even if at the code email level you are using ChatGPT.
yeah,
They need
yeah,
creative thinkers. They need people who can
yeah,
think on their own. As simple as code email. Code email is not
yeah,
that simple though, but you engaging a professor, if you cannot do it on your own, how can you write a research paper? How can you do an independent study? How can you write a literature review?
yeah,
So please, what I will say is that it's simple. I've seen Shy Guide. He's a content creator. He's doing marvelous in this particular field, let's say economics, and I really admire his work. I'll go to Google Scholar, see some of his publications and what he has done. I'll Google him. Google will give me some things. Maybe he went to a recent conference. Once I see those things, I'm gathering information about who he is, what his research interest is, and what his areas are. Once I see those things, it helps me to now
yeah,
put into a message form or an email form that talks in summary about what he's doing and how that also impacts me or how that also interests me. As simple as
yeah,
that. So, what is he doing? What has he done? What is he anticipating to do? And the more you search for the professors, the more you are going to know. There are some professors
yeah,
that recently got grants from associations or from the government agencies, from the federal agencies, and they want students to work with. All these things are on the internet. So when you are sending code emails, Professor this, I'm really interested in your research area, which focuses on human communication interaction. I was searching about you and I realized that you recently got a research grant, and I believe um, you are definitely going to need students that you would want to work with.
yeah,
I'm sending this code email in order to reach out to see if you are willing to accept students. As simple as that. Code email
yeah,
should be like 2 paragraphs or like statements and 2 pages. They will not read
yeah,
it. They will,
exactly.
your
Yeah,
professors are very busy. Even recently, I'm done with school, but I wanted to talk to my professors. Like I just wanted to talk with some of my professors that I've been able to build rapport with.
yeah,
I sent them a message. Some of them got back to me like 2 weeks later. I sent them a message. Some of them we scheduled the time, but we had to reschedule. Even me that I'm still
yeah,
in the States,
yeah,
That should tell you how busy they are. Sometimes some of them are on sabbatical, they are not in school, a lot is happening. They are going through school's emails, their assignments, and a lot of things. So
That's true.
you have to be catchy. You have to be very straightforward and realistic. Don't fanfoo them. Go straight to the point. Also, the subject matters. You have to make sure that the subject is something that will attract them to click on that message to look at it. Don't be like the subject. Some people don't write anything at all. Sometimes people write DSL or Madam, even at the subject level. No, don't do that. Subject should be potential graduate student who is very interested in your research focus. Like anything, it could be anything. Those times, that was what I was using, prospective international student. Now things have changed. Use strategic subjects that when someone sees the notification of the email, they are so much interested in going to open the code emails to look at them. So I would say that is what people shouldn't do. Go straight to the point, talk about their work. Some of them, they've been doing amazing things. They've not had people talk about them. Go there. You say, Professor, I love your work. This is something you've been doing. And I have been doing something similar in the field. It shouldn't be always something that you have done. Sometimes it could be what they are doing. You have not done that, but you feel that when they give you that opportunity, you'll be able to help contribute in that area. And just hit it like that. Please don't go to a communication professor telling them to supervise you whilst your field is in chemistry. It doesn't make sense. Like that is how serious it is, and that is how nonchalant some people are about going out code emails. They don't care. They just get up, they are sending code emails anyhow. No. When the professor's interest doesn't align with what you want to do, don't go and talk to them in the first place. Only talk to those who feel they are doing something that aligns with you, that you want to reach out to them, because in future, when you are admitted, you feel they can be your supervisor.
Yeah, that makes sense. You know, the thing is that the things you're saying, right? Assuming I have 10 schools that I want to apply to, what that means is that with every school, let's say I pick 2 professors, that means I would have to send 20 cold emails. And with 20 cold emails, I would have to check Google Scholar for 20 professors, check their works, you know, shape my cold emails to suit whatever they are doing. Like, so that is a lot of work, and that is what people don't want to do, because they feel like, oh, I should just send something simple, and if they will reply, they will reply. It's not the work that will make it, but that's not how it is. If you want full funding, it means you have to put in the work. You have to be willing. Even if you have to do it for like 50 professors, you just have to do it. That's the only way. Because right now everybody is trying to come here. Everybody's, you know, competing with you. So you cannot be lazy and expect full funding easily like that.
And I used to be addicted to WhatsApp until I came to the United States, when I became very addicted to the email. Honestly, when you are back home, you will feel, oh, email. If you want to reach out to any big person, like, and even if you have to pass through their secretaries, it's email. Email is that relevant, and you have to master the. If you don't know how to use it, go to YouTube. How do I use emails? How do I write captivating messages through email? Everything is on the internet. Learn it. Just like how people how to use Excel and Microsoft and all those tools. It's the same for the. If you don't know how to use it, learn how to use it, because most medium of communication here, for me, my professors, is I check my email every day. Like, that is how CEO my Outlook. When I was a grad student, I even hated it, because every time emails were popping in, and anytime I see emails, my heart would be skipping like that, until I graduated. That, those kind of things left, and all of that. But they are very, 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 very serious. So you have to master the act of knowing how to use it, honestly.
Yeah, you're very right. When it comes to the study abroad process, especially when it comes to emails, right? The more professional you are, the more serious you appear, and the more opportunities you are going to get. It's really that simple. If you just want to send anything that you want, then yeah, it kind of shows you're not serious, and some people will be chosen ahead of you. It's really that simple.
Is what brought me here. Email. Was because I sent the professor a message. He fell in love with it. And I can tell you a lot of things that emails like got me into. I was that strategic to the point that it got to a point I could send if the message, like the line of messages that I was sending to my professor, it got to a point I could discern whether I should move forward with the rapport building, or I should just be going straight to the point. And that was able to allow me to give my statement of purpose to 2 program coordinators who reviewed it for me, and all those people, I got into them.
Wow.
And because
That's
I was able
amazing.
to discern, based on how we were chatting, I was like, nah, this is someone who is very flexible in how they are talking, and it's like they are showing interest in me. So
Nice.
let me push this. Although I was scared at the point, but I pushed
Yeah.
it. They reviewed my SOP. They're like, oh, Evans, this is good. You
Nice.
mentioned that when I am admitted, you are talking as if you know you are going to be admitted. Use if I am admitted. Those are very good things that they were making up in the statement of purpose.
Yeah.
So I did that, and all those schools I got into. So there's power in strategic code emails. If you master the craft work, you never know where it might land you. And sometimes it's not, sometimes you can just reach out to professors just to commend them about their works, and not just because you want to work for a partner. It just sometimes it can just be that normal code emails, and you never know where that can land you.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So let's say I study communication. I want to study abroad, and I don't know any communication school. How do I search for the right school for me?
So it depends. America higher institution, I just love it because of the nuance and how diverse it is.
Yeah.
There is a lot of field and areas you can go with communication field. So when you want to study communication, you ask yourself, what part of communication do I want to be a part of? Because it's very broad. Communication is that broad. And in every organization, in every institution, in every field, there is communication there.
Yeah.
So you ask yourself, do you want to be a practitioner in a field, or you want to be a researcher in a field? Then it will allow you to know how intentional you are going about the field.
That's true.
Health communication, interpersonal communication, organizational communication, public relation, critical communication. Like I can mention almost like 40 specializations in communication field. So just ask yourself, what are you good at? So it's all about your strength and your weaknesses and where you want to be in future. Then it will help you to decide on which communication field you want to go into. You get the point. Maybe you wanted to be a nurse when you were growing up, but you realize you really don't like blood like that. You get the point. Okay, then what about studying how the nurse go about communicating with patients? That is something I want to do. So health communication. You get the point. So it just depends on the area you want to go into. And like I said, I went to the comms field just because I was not good with numbers, and I wanted something that I could also do and become the best person of myself. And if you ask me now where I'm going with what I've been able to learn in the past 2 years, there are a whole lot of thought process that I'm still grappling with now. But at the end of the day, it's very beautiful. You can go into any area, any specialization, whether STEM or non-STEM, still in the communication field. It all depends on how you position yourself. So I would say that is how to go about it. Just search for the schools, universities in the United States that have specializations in communication. You are going to get tons of them. Go through the department website. And one thing I love about the schools is that they don't focus on just one area of interest. You Boulder focus on 3 areas of interest: organizational communication, rhetoric, and community and social interaction. Some schools, organizational communication, interpersonal communication, public relations. So every school you take has different specialization. Once you see it, you ask yourself, which one do you align towards to, or which one you want to apply to? Then you start preparing your materials towards that area.
Yeah. Your specialization is organizational communication, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Do you have any tip for resumes and CVs? Do you have any particular tip, or it doesn't really matter?
For the academic resume?
Yeah.
So with the academic resume, I would say sometimes people say it shouldn't be more than 2 pages, but I would say it depends. There's a difference between CV and a resume. CV is like
Yeah.
the comprehensive one where you are putting everything on.
Yeah.
One thing that I would say is that before you exceed 2 or 3 pages, check what the school requires.
Mm.
If the school says 2 pages of CV, like, or resume, give them 2 pages. If the school does not state it, you can give 3 or 4 pages of resume, depending on however you want to go about it. But at the end of the day, just make sure you are capitalizing on the salient things. I used to work when I was in UCC as a sales representative for my auntie.
Mm.
What has a sales rep got to do with study abroad? It could
Communication,
be
right? Oh.
yeah, it could be that I wasn't doing the communication aspect of it. It was
Okay.
more, I don't know how to say, the manual labor aspect of it.
Oh, okay.
You get the point. So at the end of the day, what I'm trying to arrive at is the fact that it depends on how
Yeah.
you frame it.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, there are certain things that I did when I was in Ghana that when I was writing my academic CV, I took them out because
Mm.
it comes with the name academic CV. So they
Yeah.
want more of the
How is
concepts,
it? Yeah.
publications, working with the professor, working in a lab. Those are the things they want. But
Yeah.
if you were working at the airport and you are coming in as a chemistry student, what has the airport and the chemistry student coming to work in the lab?
Yeah. That's true.
Where is the overlap? So it's just you looking at yourself, assessing yourself, and knowing what should go on to the CV and what shouldn't go on to it. Associations, awards, all those things are the things that they need when it comes to academic CV. So I wouldn't say there is a one size fit all approach when it comes to it. And it could
Yeah.
be that you worked at the airport, but there is a way you can frame it and still put it in there and it will still make sense.
Yeah. You applied to 16 schools. You paid the application fees. How much was that?
One was $30. That school, I couldn't even get through with it because they needed test scores and I couldn't
Oh.
provide it. I thought it could be waived. Someone told me, "Oh, Evans, they are having free waiver, so try it." I went. The free waiver was over. I paid the $30, and I realized that the test scores they had this red asterisk there.
Yeah.
Anytime you see those red asterisks, it means you can't skip it. I reach out to them and they tell me it must be provided. So that was
Oh.
the one I paid. And the other one was like $60. A friend of mine paid for me, University of Maine, because she was there. And the last one was like $75. A friend of mine was in the military, so he also paid for that for me. So
Mm.
it was just 30, 60, $75.
Nice. Let's talk about visa interview. You have a lot of knowledge about the visa interview process. Can you tell me about your visa interview experience? You had full funding, so it was probably easy for you, right?
Yeah, so when I got the funding, I was very happy, you know, and
Yeah.
I was like, is this real? Like, what is this? And especially when I was getting different offers. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, because I was that broke to the point that, I didn't believe
Mm.
where I was going because I realized I was getting closer. So when it was time for the visa interview, I remember
Yeah.
couldn't really sleep like that because I was going for the visa interview with my friend that I applied with. We had the same day.
Mm.
So I was going, he came to sleep over. I was staying at Osu. Osu is very close to Cantonment. That's where
Mm.
the American embassy is. So I even walked to the place. So I walked there, I checked in, everything was fine. I
Yeah.
was there through the line watching the window because I didn't want to be scared. And one thing that I would advise people to do is sometimes when you are doing this process, just limit the number of people you tell, not because of a fear for or whatever, but I felt a lot of people knew about my process that at the point, what I was thinking about was just, what if I don't get it? What are they going to say?
Yeah.
So that is why sometimes I advise that tell the people that are very close to you and believe in the agenda. There are
Yeah.
some people you even tell. I had friends that didn't believe in this, that they thought I was joking, but today they are coming for help, which is fine. It's normal. I'm not using it against them. Just that they didn't believe in me.
Yeah.
When I was telling them study abroad, they looked at me and they're like, "You study abroad, where?" But at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is that I made too much people aware of the process to the extent that it mounted some unnecessary pressure on
Yeah.
me the day when I was going for the visa. I was not thinking about whether I was going to get it or not. I was thinking about how people are going to think about me when it doesn't go well.
Yeah.
So I was in the line. I went there, and the woman took my stuff, and she was writing stuff, and she was like, "Oh, University of Colorado Boulder." I said, "Yes, I'm going to University of Colorado Boulder to pursue a Master of Arts in." I changed my focus at the point because I needed, like, I wanted to rebrand to say something that I could feel free talking about, and
Yeah.
some I felt that in future when I come to Ghana, I would come help contribute in that area. So I was like, I'm going to do, my emphasis is in environmental communication, because honestly, the statement of purpose that I wrote, like some of the statement of purpose that I wrote, I target environmental communication.
Okay.
But specifically to University of Colorado Boulder, it was organizational communication. But on the 20, it was not organizational communication. They use the old ways of mentioning the
The
courses. So it was
CIP code, yeah.
speech and rhetoric, whatever. So I was like, okay, I will just position myself in a way that I can express myself, so that I'll put myself in any precarious situation.
Yeah.
So when I mentioned environmental communication, then she was like, "Oh, really? What is environmental communication?" And honestly, all the 50 questions I had prepared for, that question was not part of them. So it really dawned on me, like I was like, "What is happening?
Yeah.
How can she ask me something that I never thought of preparing for?"
Yeah.
And it's not that you don't know what is environmental communication.
Yeah.
The visa is just 2 to 3 minutes, like 1 minute sometimes. And sometimes you are not able to think on your toes.
Yeah. When you are surprised like that, yeah.
So it took me like 5 seconds. I was not talking. And I was like, environmental communication is the study of living organisms. Bro, I was just fumbling.
Yeah.
So one thing that helped me was the switch. I was like, well, you asked me for environmental communication. What if I turn that into my research interest and what the program will help me come back to do? So once I was fumbling, I was like, yeah, so however, this program is going to help me go to the university, study with renowned professors in the field, gain the advanced knowledge in A, come back to Ghana and help to fight illegal mining activities, which is currently affecting a lot of environmental bodies and a lot of things.
Yeah.
I said that, she just looked at my face and she was like, "Oh wow, that is interesting. I can see how fully funded scholarship. Take this, your visa has been approved." That was all.
Nice. Wow. That's amazing. Yeah. Wow. That was a good strategy.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah.
when you're struggling, you just have to pivot it to something that you may still
Improvise.
come up about. Yeah. That's nice.
Yeah.
What are you've been in the space for a while, you have seen the mistakes that a lot of students make, when it comes to the visa interview. What are some of the tips that you can give to these students?
In terms of the visa related stuff,
Yeah, visa interview, yeah. Visa interview tips.
one thing I would say is that you just want to be yourself. Honestly, just be
Yeah,
yourself. Avoid trying to cram things to go there and pour things to them and just
yeah,
go and just be real. There's a way you speak to somebody and they can feel you.
feel, yeah,
They can resonate with you. It
yeah.
could even be that's not actually the case. The
But
way
how you
you
tell it, yeah,
can, like, present yourself, and that is the world we find ourselves in. Like,
yeah,
it's about your story. It's about what you are selling and how you are trying to convince people to believe in you.
yeah,
You get the point? So don't go to the visa interview um, thinking that, oh, I'm just going to tell them this and they are going to work with it. The visa
mm,
officers are not trained like that. There are a
yeah,
lot of things that they are trying to check. And one of the things they really check is your genuinity, like the fact that you are very genuine.
yeah,
You are not beating around the bush. They ask you the question, you are going right into it.
yeah,
Sometimes people are like, give short answers. People are like, give long answers. I don't care about any of that. What I
yeah,
care about is that when they asked you the question yourself, when you're asking yourself, how you did in terms of how you answered that question. Did you answer that question to their maximum?
Yeah.
That is what I would entreat people to really focus on. I'm asking you
Yeah.
a question. Tell me why you think I should be able to give you this visa, especially looking at the current changes and the things happening in the United States. You don't want to go there with some fabricated stories that you know that
Yeah.
this story does not really hold water. So you
Yeah.
want to go straight to the point. Tell them why you are coming to the state. What motivated you? Why are you going to the United States to study whilst there's communication program in Ghana?
Yeah.
What do you think this program is going to help you do? And one thing I tell people you have to be cautious about is that it's not a permanent visa they are giving you. A green card is not a citizenship. It's a non-immigrant visa. So they expect you that you tell them that this is going to help me go do this and come back to my country to establish this. Get that once you have that mindset will shape everything,
Yeah.
every conversation, every question that they are going to ask you. You get the point? Because
Yeah.
that's it. It's just you knowing what goes into it. And that is one thing I appreciate about the United States. When you find yourself in a country you want to succeed, ask yourself, what is the law? What makes the country what it is? How is the country working? I believe it is based on structures and pillars. Once you are able to get acquainted with those structures and pillars, you will excel in the country. And it's the same for when you are going for your visa interview. Look at how people have done it in the past. Join mock sessions. How are people answering their questions? Oh, okay. Based on that, like what put yourself in the minds or in the shoes
Yeah.
of visa officers. If you were to be in their shoes, how were you going to approach that process? Once you
Yeah.
are seeing it like that, it helps you to craft a story that when you tell a toddler, the toddler is like, wow, I love your
Yeah.
story.
That makes sense. Yeah.
The visa. So I want people to be genuine and shift away from, nowadays I do the mock sessions and you can see the trend where people are trying to copy people. It's not bad to copy. You keep on copying. There's nothing new under the sun. But how can you copy something and still be creative about it?
Yeah.
As simple as that. So copy my story, but at the end of the day, use your story. Like copy
Yeah.
how I'm going about it, but use your story and what resonates with you. Oh, I got in touch with this professor and he has expressed interest in working with me. So that is why I'm coming to the school. It's not bad. Add something. Add something. Sometimes I tell people, why did you choose the school? I chose this school because of how responsive they were to me when I was sending them code emails. That is a very genuine thing to say. Like,
Yeah.
new thing to say, like, they were very responsive as compared to the other schools where you were not getting feedbacks from them. But sometimes when you tell people, they are like, oh no, that is too. But the thing is, I always say this, you never know, like what I just told you, that the switch and what I told the visa officer, although I know that is what like gave me the visa, but sometimes the visa officer might be thinking about something else. I could say that probably they gave me the visa because the funding was too good. I didn't have any deficit. I
Yeah.
didn't, although I went with the bank statement, I knew they were not going to ask me bank statement. So you never know what is going to do that magic for you. So
Yeah.
just make sure you are expressing yourself and being relaxed. There's one student that came to the United States recently where he joined my mock session, went to get his visa, and I asked him, bro, what did you say? Because he went last year, he didn't get it. And this year, despite some of the challenges that was going on at the embassy, he went there.
Yeah.
I asked him, how did he said, bro, honestly, I didn't practice for any mock sessions or do I was joining. I went there. I just answered the question like how, and he got
Yeah.
it. Meanwhile, someone
Yeah.
who was preparing for 3 months, 4 months went there with funding and still
Yeah.
didn't get it. So
Yeah.
all boils down to what I'm trying to say: be yourself.
Yeah.
Tell a story that when you are telling a non-VO, the
Yeah.
person will like look at the story and be like, "You make a lot of sense. Let me give you this pass."
What about if I have study gaps? How do I approach the visa interview?
Study gaps like you completed in 2021 and you are coming in
Yeah.
20.
So haven't been in school in a while.
I think what visa officers are looking for is the fact that you were doing something during those gaps. They hate it when you tell them, I was done with school, I was not doing anything. I just decided to apply now. Even if you are not working, at least you were volunteering somewhere or you volunteered somewhere. You can leverage on those things and talk to the visa officers about it, because like I said, for the most part, that is what they are looking for. And
Yeah.
I would say coming to America to study is not age bound as well. They don't care about your age.
Yeah.
I know people here who were professors in Nigeria, they are like in their 50s, they are still here doing their
Yeah.
PhD. So at the end of the day, it's all about asking yourself, this gap year that I had, what was I doing? What do
Yeah.
I think I can talk about that will interest the visa officer? And that is not to say just talk about anything at all that you were doing at that time. Be strategic. Talk about something that you did within that period that you think aligns with what you are still going to do in the United States. Sometimes what they are also tracking is the like alignment with what you are saying. Oh, you said you did a cons at UCC, but you are going to do communication studies. Why the switch?
Yeah.
They want to know the alignment. Oh, I did animal science in Ghana. I'm going to do masters in animal science in the United States. There is alignment. They know I'm intentional about it. If you changed it, it's not a problem. At the end of the day, why the change?
Yeah. Why? Yeah.
Be able to articulate that idea, I think you'll be good to go.
Yeah. That's really good. And congrats on your visa interview again.
Thank you.
So, so uh, when your visa was approved, did you reach out to a Ghanaian in the school? Did you know anybody in the school, any Ghanaian?
Honestly, I was the first master student in my program, so far as I
Oh,
know. And I was
oh,
the first to also do a comprehensive exams, right? Recently, I was checking and I realized, oh, the comprehensive exams that I did to graduate, I was the first to do it from the
wow.
master's level. So, yeah, I was the first to get there. The African population in Boulder is very low because Colorado is a very predominantly white place. Although I love Colorado, right now as we speak, I'm in Fort Collins, and it's also another town in Colorado, and I love it like here in Fort Collins. The people are beautiful, the people are lovely and all of that. So at the end of the day, I would say it's a mix of all these things that came together for me to,
So then, how did you get to school? How did you get accommodation as well? Given that you didn't know anyone in your program.
it was very difficult for me transitioning from
Mm,
Ghana, even with my flight ticket and all of that. But eventually when I got to school, I reached out to my director of graduate studies at the time, and they were able to link me up with a faculty member who hosted me in her room for like almost 1 week.
wow.
So a faculty member provided everything for me, took care of me.
In the same department.
Yeah, in the same department. So
Okay.
she left the whole house for me because she was
Wow.
even traveling at the time. So she spent like 2 days with me and almost a week. I was in the house alone, chilling and just looking for apartments because, so it was not easy. But later I realized the international school had emergency rooms that they can normally give students. So
Okay.
I got an emergency room where I stayed there for 1 year and 1 month. And by that time I had gotten my first pay, so I had enough money. Then I
Wow.
moved and off campus.
Charlie.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
not easy. Like you get to campus and you don't have money for accommodation, man. Charlie, this
The
life, eh?
kind of life is just a lot. If you don't, I don't know how to put it, but I think I understand why some people come here and they are done and they go back. Honestly, it's not for any, it's not for
It's
everybody.
yeah,
It's not for everybody.
yeah. So you avoided the research. You say you did comprehensive exam. Why didn't you do the research, the thesis? Why?
I think it all depends on, like I said initially, where I want to go in future. You
Mm,
know, I looked at it. Do I really want to be in academia? I weighed a lot of options and I was like, I would really want to be in it, but I don't see myself doing it long term.
okay.
Okay, so if I want to be in it and I'm not doing long term, what
Then the
are the
comprehensive
other options?
exam. Okay.
You get the point. So that is what I was looking at. And at the
Mm,
end of the day, too, my department is very good, and the professors there, their ranks is somewhere else. The top
yeah.
top journals in the United States, they are just like editors in the top journals in my field.
Mm,
And me starting it was not easy. It got to a point I wanted to give up because I thought I chose the wrong program. I will submit a paper and the professor will tell me, Evans, you have to conceptualize it. I was like, what are you talking about? So, and it's different if I'd gone to like a different school. I had like 5 colleagues that I completed UCC with that I felt we could just come together and do group work.
Yeah.
But I'm the only one here. How can I talk to someone that group work? They will not do it. So I had to figure things out on my own. And it was really, where you go to school where they don't have time for now that you are learning. No, we are going. And my program was very PhD centric. So all my classes I was taking with these PhD students, some of them had their masters, been to conferences, some of them have even published, they know what they are saying. Every time Evans, introduce yourself, I was always changing my research topic. Every time Evans, introduce yourself, mention your pronouns, and tell us about your research topic. First, I will say environmental stuff. Second, I will say I'm doing health related stuff. Now I say I'm doing non-profit, I'm doing collaboration.
Yeah, that thing is funny, actually. That thing is funny. Yeah. That thing, that thing is actually funny. A lot of times, yeah. Even me myself, when I started my PhD, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, and it's just one of those things. You just, go with the flow like that. It's okay to keep.
Someone is there when they articulate their research. You're like,
Yeah.
bro, Charlie, it's like
They are more specific and all of that.
they know what they are talking about. And sometimes, based on the comment you hear from some of the professors, Abraham, you've always been on top of your game. You are you know where you are going with your. So when you see such comments, you know that even the professors, they're falling in love with the guy because he knows what he's doing. He knows where he's
Yeah.
going. Meanwhile, you are there grappling with cultural shocks,
Yeah.
grappling with expectations from home, grappling with you trying to make it academically,
Yeah.
grappling with you teaching students that you've never met before, like that group of students, internationals, like, students where you are teaching them for the very first time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of transition and a lot of getting through that. So it was not easy at all for me. So I was like, okay, I'm considering all of these things. I wouldn't want to put myself in a situation where instead of me graduating in 2 years, I would have to extend it.
Yeah.
Because
But
for
the
the
good
most
thing is money no be problem for you, right? So at least
no.
at least.
At that time, the money was not coming, At that time, money
Sorry.
aspect, I was not thinking about it at all. Now I had to deal with the actual, and I just looked at them and I was like, okay, I think to be good to do the thesis, especially if I want to do a PhD, which in future I might want to do. But I asked myself, if I do comprehensive exams, does it mean I can't do a PhD? The answer is no, because I actually applied for some PhD programs last year and I got into some PhD programs. So I'm like,
Nice.
then let me just put myself in a situation that I'll be able to get my degree, because at the end of the day, I believe that is also the goal.
Yeah. So you look like somebody, you like the money. You like the money. So when you graduated, you decided to get into the job market and get a job. And you have a job now. Tell me about the process. How
Uh,
difficult was it to get
that
a
one
job?
can take like 2 years to talk about the process. Because it's very fresh and current. Like I've not, although I have it in my journal, like the things I went through. I think I have almost like 50 points. The things I learned through
Throughout the
the
process. Wow.
2-3 months that I used to apply. So it's just a lot, but I'll just summarize it. So what happened is I graduated in May, just this year.
Yeah.
Applied for my OPT, and the OPT came at a point where I was done with school and I didn't have a job in June. And I had to find a job, because when you have your OPT, you have 90 days to find a job.
Yeah.
Even than
Charlie.
that, you have to be out of the United States. So I was just there applying for jobs here and there, very tedious, depressed, going through some emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
Everywhere quiet. It's like the world was trembling all over me, like coming. It was just a lot of stuff going on. So I was like, okay, I know myself. I've done it before. This is not going to be the first time. It's not going to be rosy. I'm still going to push through. So, I do the YouTube stuff and all of that. So it got to a point where it's like, my beloved fans, my beloved people, I'm going on a break. Although I didn't tell anybody, but it got to a
Yeah.
point like this is
You
really
needed
good.
it. Yeah.
I really want to impact lives where I know I'm in a very comfortable place.
Exactly.
I don't really be impacting lives where I'm struggling and going through. It doesn't
Exactly.
really add up. How do you show someone that hey,
Yeah.
you are not going there? You can't be a signboard like that. So I looked at all what was happening. It was very difficult applying for jobs and also doing interviews in the United States. I thought it
Yeah.
was going to be easy, especially based on how we hear it.
Mm.
Oh, US is land of opportunities. Once you are done with school, job will be waiting for you. It's a lie. You have to go through series of applying for jobs, interviews upon interview. So the interview is not just one. You go for first stage. Once you
Yeah.
qualify, tell you second stage, sometimes the final stage. So I was applying for jobs and I realized that I was like I was being drained one way or the other because of how I was applying for jobs all over. So I
Yeah.
sat down at a point and I asked myself, let me just go back to when I decided I'm applying to just United States. This time around, I'm applying for jobs, but I want to be strategic. I wouldn't apply for corporate jobs. I will apply for jobs in schools.
Mm.
So, and I did that because I was very deliberate about it. Because I
Okay.
realized for the most part, those were the ones that were getting me the interviews.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, if I'm getting more interviews from this area, then let me focus on it. So I remember even my school, my former school, like I applied to almost 50 jobs at CU board. That was how serious it was.
Like in one school, you apply
Yeah,
to 50 jobs in one school,
yeah.
which
It
means
was.
that overall you apply to like 1,000 jobs. Because if you ask you 50 jobs, then hey,
if I'm quantifying it,
wow,
I would say it will be around like the ones that I can quantify will be around
yeah,
200 to 300 jobs. Like
wow,
if I'm quantifying,
yeah,
because there were some jobs that I applied that I didn't put in my Excel sheet because it got to a
yeah,
point I was like, no, I'm going to be deliberate. I'll track it. So I applied for it. The school, the position, accepted, interviewed, first stage, okay, rejected. Not so that was how I was tracking it. So it got to a point, it was that serious and a lot of things were going into it. I was like, no, I think I have to activate the spiritual aspect of things. So,
mm.
you know, there are beautiful mountains here. So I went to the mountains, did some one or two stuff. When I came back, I was like, okay, let's go again. I was putting in the application. And at the end of the day, one thing that I was doing was that I was linking up with some professors who knew and had a fair idea of how it was like because things have actually
Mm.
changed. There are some organizations, they don't want you to use AI to apply for jobs, but
Yeah,
they use AI to outsource.
of
So it
course,
didn't really add up to me. Well, you are telling me I shouldn't use AI to apply
yeah,
for a job, but you are using AI to
yeah,
determine
it's
whether I qualify. So I
yeah,
realized a lot of things goes into the application as compared to how I was doing it.
mm.
How my roommate got a job even before he graduated, and he is a computer scientist, software
Mm.
engineer. So I was like, what did he do right? So it got to that point where it was like a learning curve for me. I was like, let me sit down and relax and learn how things are working around me. Then I'll know how to put in an application. So I talked to this friend of mine who was a software engineer. He told me how he went about his stuff, but I realized his one was quite straightforward because he used just one CV to apply for almost 500 jobs and he got one acceptance and he went and he is working there. But
Wow,
I realized I cannot use one CV, even though I was applying to schools, academic advisor, career coach, hall director. I can't use one CV. I
yeah, they're different,
so I
yeah,
was always changing my CV, tweaking it, and also cover letter. He applying for his software engineer he was not applying using cover letters. So a day he can apply to like 100 jobs. And I was like, bro, how are you doing it? It was
mm.
because he was not writing cover letters, tweaking cover
Yeah,
letters, and tweaking his
yeah,
um, resume. And you know,
resume, yeah,
IT people, it's just one page. If you have
yeah,
2 pages or 3 pages,
it's too much,
Amazon or
yeah,
Google will not look at it.
yeah,
But I realize my field is different. They don't care about the number of pages, but at least it shouldn't be more than 2 pages. And also, I have to keep on changing it and the rest. So I spoke with one of my professors. God bless her wherever she is. She gave me the tricks. Okay, Evans, change the CV, bring the education, the skills first, and put the so even the format, because I think she sat on a committee where she knew what goes into it. So she showed me something, and she also showed me how, if I get interviews, I should go about it. And I got it. I put it down.
Wow.
Then I reached out to now. I did organization communication. What I'm doing now, I'm a hall director in a school.
Yeah.
It doesn't really overlap, although it overlaps. But the role that I'm in, most part, you have to have like a master's in higher education, student affairs. I don't have a master's in higher education, although I applied for it when I was in Ghana. I've always had interest in higher education. I just loved it. If I was going to go to Ghana and apply again and come back here, I would really consider higher ed because it's more practical and it aligns with my personality as compared to what I did. So it was that moment where I was just bringing a lot of things together, assessing myself, what I'm good at. Okay, I've done content creation. I have over 40,000 followers across. Can it even play a role or cannot play a role? My first job interview I got was a social media strategist for a TV station in the United States. And that was because of the content creation that I started some time ago, that some people didn't want me to continue because they thought it was too early for me to start content creation. The first job like interview that I got from a TV station that wanted me to handle their social media for them. You get the point. So that is how the processes went. At the end of the day, I decided to tailor it into universities, and God being so good, after applying to all those ones, I got multiple offers, and I decided to come here after 2 months of searching for job, where I got a message from national, uh, the international student Givers. We've realized that it's been 45 days. You've not updated the system. That you've gotten a job. That was the same day that I got an offer.
An offer. So you got several offers. How many offers did you get?
I got all the applications I did. I got 3 offers.
And then you decided to go to Colorado State University.
Yeah.
Why that one? Was there any reason, or you
One,
just like
I
the
checked
school?
it was the like relocation. I had to relocate to other states. I didn't want to
Okay.
risk it because it was just going to be learning a whole lot of. Because you know how every state is very different.
Yeah.
I've
That's
lived
true.
Colorado for 2 years. I love Colorado. Colorado is very beautiful, and I happened to come here during the summer. We had a football game, like a soccer. So when I came to Colorado State, I was like, "Oh, this is a very beautiful school." So when I applied and I got here, I was like, honestly, the offer was really, very.
Right now you're the money man. Money count. That's good. Congrats.
Look at it, and I was like, I don't really want to leave Colorado. Talking about
Yeah.
the nation, I have to carry mine. You know how it is. You can't take
Yeah.
yours to other states. So I was like, I'm just going to come here and just build it from here.
That makes sense. Yeah. But it's incredible given your background, what you studied, organizational communication, and now you are residence hall director. So how were you able to convince them that you can do the job? And how many interviews did you go through?
I did a lot of interviews,
No, like in
and
that particular school, like how many interviews did you have to go through? Like
for
was
the
it like
first,
2?
yeah, 2. So the first
Mm.
one called me for like 30 minutes. I talked to the person. I've forgotten them, although I'm working with all of them. But the funny thing, all those who interviewed me, I don't remember all of them except one of them, although I'm working with them. So
Yeah.
I did 2. The first one, like when I went through the first stage, I got a message on that same day that he has proceeded to take me to the final stage,
Oh
which
wow.
really doesn't happen. Because sometimes when you do it, you hear from them 2 or 3 days or 1 week
Yeah,
later.
1 week or something. Yeah.
But that one, that day, that same day after the interview, he told me he would be proceeding with like me to the
Yeah. Wow.
stage. The final stage was also like 1 hour, 30 minutes of interviews with almost all the heads, like the department,
Yeah.
and the yeah, that's how it went.
Do you mind sharing some of the questions they ask you? You know.
The questions they asked me. So one thing that I was doing was, for the most part, I would tell them to put the questions in the chat box because it was because it was a new field for me one way or the other. Although I had a background with resident director staff in Ghana Methodist University, but Methodist University, is kind of a bit private, and
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it wasn't very rigorous like the things that I'm seeing here.
Mm.
At the end of the day, what I was doing was that any interview that I will attend, I will let them put the questions in the chat box. I will copy them and go and rehearse them for other interviews.
Oh, okay.
But
Wow.
I realized some of them were very, similar, and some of them were very different. So
Mm.
similar ones that they will ask you is, why did you apply to their program? Like why that
That job.
why do you want to do it? And I would say that the first question they ask you is your opening. If you don't talk and express yourself well, it could decide how the interview went.
Yeah.
Because I did other interviews and I performed badly. There were some interviews that were like video assessments. Before you do the actual interview, they will do
Video.
auto-generated video assessment.
Mm.
It was a lot of things went into it, and I'm bringing. Once I zoom into the video creation again recently, I'm going to have a lot of podcasts to talk about because there are a
Yeah.
lot of few people must know, and once they know, I believe I'm trying to summarize all of them to you, and it's
Yeah.
tough a little bit, but I'll say they'll ask you why did you choose that particular job,
Yeah.
and they will also ask you. They can ask you, tell them about how you see social justice, like, and they can also tell you, talk about. I wish my journal is in my room. The questions are
Yeah.
there, but
Yeah. That's
it was a lot
so.
of things there.
Yeah. Later on, when you create the content, people are going to watch it. So, yeah, I
Yeah,
just wanted a brief. Okay. That.
and it's also
Yeah.
dependent, the schools. So normally the questions are geared towards. Sometimes you get a question on diversity.
Mm.
Sometimes you are going to get a question on how do you multitask,
Yeah.
and for the most part, the questions were situational and behavioral questions. They
Mm.
don't give you what is. They give you
Yeah.
questions that they want you to reflect to a time that you did something and
Yeah.
how you did that thing and the results of that thing. So that is
Yeah.
how I was going about it using the STAR method. So
Yeah.
they will ask you the question, Evans, can you tell us about a time where you had to disagree with your supervisor?
Yeah.
What was the disagreement? How did you go about it? And what was the outcome? That is
Yeah.
how intense the question can be. So
Yeah.
when they ask that, you just use the approach where, so what I was doing, sometimes I'll just go straight to the point before I'll start explaining. And sometimes I'll explain before the end part. I'll let them know what I was able to learn from it or
Yeah.
what it was able to help me to achieve. But that is how
Yeah.
serious it is. Behavioral questions, situational questions, they want you to always reflect it to something you've done in the past.
Yeah.
And it could be something, it shouldn't be like related to like the job that you're coming to do.
Mhm.
So there were a lot of times that I was situating things to the content creation that I did. There were a lot of times that I situated things to the little bit of the residential stuff that I did when I was in Methodist University. So it just depends on how you go about it. They don't really need you to be very directed. No.
Yeah.
However you go about it, at the end of the day, you just have to make sure you are confident, articulate the ideas, and you'll be able to catch their attention. So with all my first questions, I spent almost like 3-4 minutes talking. Evans, why did you choose this program? And that what I did was always every interview I go onto their site, check their values and their goals, their mission statement and their vision statement.
Yeah.
And once I'm talking, I align it with that of what they believe in. I introduce myself. My name is Ivan Sasante Japan. I'm from Ghana. When I was in Ghana, I did this, and at this point, I got a scholarship in Ghana, and my interest in higher education sparked. And as a result of that, I served in this role. When I was in this role, I did this, and I decided to advance my studies. I applied, I got a scholarship to come and study here in organizational communication. Whilst I was studying, I was also a teaching assistant, but I also served as a financial secretary with this body, and I also volunteered with this body. All in one question, I am saying myself to them. I'm telling them who I am. So sometimes you finish it and they're like, nice one.
Wow.
They don't ask you, why did you choose this? Oh, I chose this because you believe in diversity and creating sustainable inclusivity for everyone. So that is what motivated. Before I come to that, I will take it back to Ghana. How I started, how my interest sparked in this field, how it enabled me to even create a channel to help like-minded people, where I coach people, where through my platform, a lot of people have been able to come to the United States, and I've garnered over 45,000 people across my social media. You are giving them evidence.
That's amazing. Yeah.
That they
That's
can work with. They
amazing.
know that this person knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And
That's
once you
amazing.
is any other question, you can do with it what you want to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, that actually makes you more comfortable answering other questions. Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. I didn't expect a lot of insight like this, and the things that you've said. I mean, there are a lot of insights, and we're actually looking forward to the video. We want you to tell us the whole story, so we want you to make the content start coming. I think you've taken a lot of break. Right now, it's time to give us the give us the content. So,
I'll come back. I'll say maybe December, but I'm still
hey,
seeing how.
December is foul. Because a lot of people are in the process, so they want to know. I think some people will graduate this December, and so
Yeah,
the
yeah,
earlier they get that information, I think the better for them. So we are looking
yeah,
forward to that. So
yeah.
let me know as soon as it's ready. I mean, I will know as soon as it's ready. So yeah, let me ask you. Let's go back a little bit. I just wanted to ask you something I forgot. So when you were doing your master's program, how many were you in your cohort?
We're supposed to be 10, but one person deferred, so we're nine.
So
Nine and
9 doing masters, or there were
no,
PhD
so
students?
nine for the whole cohort. At the end of the day, three of us were masters, and the rest
Okay.
were just PhD.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, in my school, they have a master's program, but the master's program, those who do it, they normally just do the comprehensive exam.
Is that
So
for business, economic, or communication?
no, like economics,
Oh,
the
okay, I see.
economics program. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but now,
that's
I have two Ghanaian ladies in my department doing their
oh
PhD.
wow. So they came
Yeah,
because of you, right? They like because they knew you, right? Possibly.
one way or the other, because we met at
Yeah,
the conference, and they one way or the other had heard about. And you know how I was also very vocal about CU Boulder. It was not
yeah,
really, people didn't really know it that much. You get a point.
mm,
So I was also talking about it a lot in my videos, and it got a lot of attention and all of that, one way or
yeah.
the other,
That makes
especially
sense.
my department. And they also happened to be here already. They had done their masters, so we went for this communication conference. They connected with some
Yeah,
of the professors, and yeah, they got accepted. And I was so happy because you
yeah.
work there and you'll be the only one working there, and sometimes you don't feel it.
Yeah. I think I just remember something. My program is actually the other way around. I think people, so what happens is that some people they come into the program to do PhD. And
Yeah.
then when they are not able to pass the comprehensive, then they decide to just do the thesis and then get the master. So I just missed it too up. So
Uh,
it's different. Yeah.
but my comms was not easy. Oh. I wrote almost 40 pages, even for the comms. And it was like open book where they will give you the questions.
Yeah.
Open book, you can copy from anywhere. But when
Mm.
you are done, they will access it and you go and defend it orally. So
Oh,
it
okay.
was not easy
It's
for
not the
me.
typical comprehensive exam. Yeah. So my
Yeah.
school, the comprehensive exam is like a 12-hour exam. So 6 hours, 6 hours. Then just questions, three different courses. And then three other. So that more in total, like six different courses. So
Wow.
2 hours, 2 hours. And yeah. So it's always difficult because, you know, a lot of times when we start a program, we may be like 7 or something. By the time we get to maybe third, fourth year, we are just about 3 or so, or maybe
Yeah.
2. Yeah.
Oh,
So
it's not easy, but sometimes to
it's
when
not
you tell it,
easy.
they don't believe, they say, oh,
Yeah,
it's
it's not easy.
complication studies. It's
Yeah.
simple. You're able to.
That is nothing simple, Masa. You said that somebody said, or some people said, it's too early for you to start content creation. What did you mean by that? What was the
Oh,
story?
yeah. It's that I just feel they were just concerned. It's not like they were putting it like in a bad sense, but when you really want to do something and the support that you might want to start,
Yeah.
you might need in order to start, you are not getting it. Where you get some people being like, "Oh, you just came not long ago. You started YouTube. You should relax and know how
Oh.
America works
Uh.
before you start all of that." But I was like, if I wait, I'm never gonna do it. This is the
Yeah.
time for me to do it. So it
Yeah.
was just that point where some friends and some family
Yeah.
members were
People
like,
talk. Yeah. It's
uh,
if you had listened to them, you would have probably looked back and regretted, because I
I,
think
I
in
I would have, because it really gave me some confidence when I couldn't
yeah,
really sit in class and all of that. I was like,
yeah,
why not do this? And
that makes sense.
it
Yeah.
really helped me gain confidence and believe in myself.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
Hmm.
And also the other thing, now that you have, now that you're working as a residence hall director, what that means is, I think you said you are interested in higher education, like you were interested in, back in Ghana. I think with that experience, you can even apply to a PhD in higher education, right? Is that something you think about?
Like
Or the PhD is not part of what the things you think about right now? You're making money, so it's all about the money, more money.
your PhD, how many years? 4 years, right?
4, 5. Some people they even go like 7 and all of that. 8 years and all of that. It depends.
They're not
Yeah,
visa.
yeah. But I mean, make the money. Money is, it's all about the money. So
No, but honestly, it's something that I have looked into it, and
mm,
I mentioned that I tried it somewhere last year, but I
yeah,
just wanted to get the hands-on experience because I knew, although I had experience in higher ed, it
yeah,
was not that much. I wanted a concrete
yeah.
higher ed
Experience.
experience.
Yeah,
Then, if I'm coming into those fields, you know, I have something to come and prove that I've done
that makes
this.
sense.
And there are a lot of things going on here that I look at it and I'm like, oh my God,
Mm,
this could just be God, because they are going through like a new model, and that new model is like having almost 1,500 people that
mm,
I like in my region, and it's a lot
yeah,
of learning and a lot of stuff going on. So I'm like, oh,
yeah,
okay, this is really good, because it's not like the regular hall director position where it's like you are taking care of just
yeah,
one. In this time round, it's like a whole region and a lot of things are happening, and I'm like, this is really so. It's also part why I'm a little bit down nowadays, because I'm really adjusting and learning a lot, because
yeah.
most things are very. I was not an RE, like a resident assistant.
Mm,
It's different when you're an RE.
yeah,
You
that's
came
true.
you came through the process, you saw how it was done. So when you
Yeah,
are doing the RD role, it becomes easier. Mine was not like that. I was a teaching
yeah,
assistant, and
yeah,
now
that's
I have
true.
moved the teaching assistant to this new role. So I'm like, okay, let me take my time and learn properly. And in the spring,
Yeah,
I believe I'll be a pro. Then I can just be doing my things.
yeah. Did they give you housing as well? Because this job, they give housing. They give you
Yeah,
housing. They give you food.
everything is covered. Yeah.
Hey, Evans, Charlie, you enjoy life. Oh. You enjoy life because if housing is covered, food is covered. Even if you don't always want to eat the food, at least
One shout,
you are living the American dream.
one shout, one shout.
One shout, one shout. Oh, nice, nice, nice. That's good. That's it is the reward of working so hard. You see the thing, yeah,
And a lot of work, but yeah, at the end of the
yeah,
day, that was what was keeping me like going. The
mm,
fact that it's difficult,
yeah,
at least once you get through with it, at least you are going to sit down and be like,
yeah,
it was worth it. So
yeah.
that is how it was like from
There is
this
a
road.
reward for that. Yeah,
really, so I could really get like these 3 of us, and for me to
Yeah.
be here having to
Nice.
all these things going on, I'm like, bro,
Nice.
the suffering was not in vain.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. You are somebody who is in the space, study abroad space. You have a lot of knowledge about the space, and you have seen a lot of mistakes that students make in the study abroad space. So, what are some of the mistakes that you have identified, and what are the ways that these students can work on these mistakes if they want to come to the US on full funding?
I think one of the things I'll not really talk about the mistakes. Like
Yeah.
I'll talk about like the like what people can do is
Okay.
one thing is like being intentional. I
Mm,
don't even want to mention names, but our brothers are going extra miles and they are
mm,
always in the office. When you come here, they're always flooded in all the schools. It's not because they are too brilliant than anybody, but it's because they are putting in the work and
yeah.
learned how the process works and they are getting the office. So one thing I'll tell people is that this is a journey you want to create for yourself. It's not going to come easy. A lot of things comes like with it. Be intentional about it. It's not easy. Like it hasn't been easy. Even right now in this current role, there are a lot of things that I'm going through that I'm like, okay, it's fine. I'm still going to work through it. We want to be at that point where we wake up and, you know, and I know it can't be like that for the most part.
Yeah.
Because the richest man is still getting up every day and still thinking about one way
Yeah.
or thinking about one, two, or some other
Yeah.
stuff. So at the end of the day, it's like be intentional.
Yeah.
Don't just start it and you leave it somewhere because the person who is helping you is not getting back to you. If they are not getting back to you, put it in. Put in the application. You can survive with or without them. It's good to always build like relations.
Resilience. Yeah.
All of that. But if people are not willing to help you, just keep it going. It's not easy, but you have to keep pushing because at the end of the day, when you come to that level, you look at yourself and be like, I'm very proud of myself
Mm,
because
yeah.
I didn't give up. And that is how it has been like for me, even with this job application and all of that. Look at someone not really in the field. I was a teaching assistant. And the funny thing is how like some people who even had a master's in the field,
Yeah.
I've had some of them come to me like, bro, how did
How
you
did you do it? Yeah.
it's believing the power of the
Yeah.
mind? The mind is very the troubles and the not
Mm,
feeling like doing it, it will come. But
yeah.
it doesn't matter. The end goal is what you are always looking at.
Yeah.
Then you just get rid of the temporal, not so
Pleasure.
good that
Oh,
you are not see.
okay.
Just forget about them and just keep
Mm,
going. So I'll say, just be intentional about it. When you come here to, it's not the end of it. Be intentional about it. Be intentional with the professors. I say 5 reasons to do a PhD. 1, the money. 2, the money. 3, the money. 4, the
hey.
money. Your supervisor. So in future, if I'm going to do a PhD, the 5 reasons, 4 is just because of the money, and the last one is my supervisor. When you come here, it doesn't end there. When you come here, learn the culture.
Yeah.
What is working? Don't just be here and be like, oh, as for me, I want to do it like this. I don't want to socialize. Hey,
Mm,
socialize. Talk to people. I said I'm done with school. I finished school like almost 4 or 5 months ago. But recently I checked in with some of my professors and it was
yeah.
just a simple email. Hello, professor. It's just been a while. I want to check in to discuss some professional and career-wise things. I just want your advice. And like I said, they are happy when you are doing that because they need people they can also mentor and coach and be like, I'm proud, Evans. You think some of my professors are not proud that I'm here?
Yeah. Yeah.
They are proud that I was their student.
Yeah.
They've been able to push me here. If
Yeah.
I had finished and I was somewhere else, not knowing what to do with my life,
Yeah.
they will look at me and be like, it seems we didn't impact this guy a lot. So keep pushing even when you come here. Build strategic relationship with your professors because you are still
Yeah.
going to need them for the recommendation letters. It doesn't end in Ghana.
Yeah.
It still
It's
continues. Imagine
yeah.
what I applied to almost ask me how I was getting recommendation letters for
Mm,
the job
for the
application.
job, yeah.
My professors here.
Mm,
You know, the professors here, they could speak to what I've done. They know
Yeah.
that this guy, if you give him the job, he will do it. And that is
Yeah.
what some people don't know about this thing. And it's to be the last thing that I'm talking about with this advice. It's not about the talking. It's about the doing. Do it. Yeah. And this is very theorized in my organizational communication field.
Yeah.
Don't just say it. It's not just about the what, like how and the why. Ask those
Yeah.
questions. It's not just, oh, what are we talking? Why? How? It helps you. Don't just
Yeah.
fancy, oh, look at Evans. He's taking some good pictures. If I show you how I looked like when I was applying for the jobs, if I show now, come to think of it, I'm done with school. I have to stay in the States for like 2 months. And I was paying almost, my rent was almost thousand bucks at the time. I'm done with school. I'm not teaching. I
Where is
couldn't
the
get
money, Charlie?
summer over. Ask yourself how I was paying for my bills. You get the point. It was not
Yeah.
easy. But at the end of the day, it all comes back to be intentional, build relationship. It's not easy. Some of us, we were not built like that. Everybody is different. People are
Yeah.
introverted, extroverted. It doesn't matter who. When I was talking to him, I was not liking the flow. And so what? You see, everybody you talk to would like the flow. Build them. You will need
Yeah.
them. You get the point? Because that's
Yeah.
what I've learned about life that
That's
I've
true.
realized it's helping a lot. It
Yeah.
is someone who, when I got this job, I was like, but you told me you were going to reach out to my professors. And I asked my professors, they said you didn't reach out to them. So how come you are giving me this job? Then they were like, we just needed one person from your recommendation
Okay.
to speak on your behalf. And we just finished talking to one of them. And that is why we are giving you that offer. Now, the question
Wow.
is, what at all did this
See that
recommend
process.
to them? That
Yeah.
immediately they were done with the call, they came to call me to give me the
Yeah.
offer.
That's true.
So just build relationships, partner with people. That paper you want to co-author with people, be intentional. A lot of things are changing in the United States. If you are really following the study abroad process, you know that it's not easy. It has not been
Yeah.
easy. I know people who had fully funded scholarship got denied. It was never the
Yeah.
case in the Ghana embassy. Things have changed. Now you can't even
Yeah.
go to other countries for your visa interview. Things are
Yeah.
changing. Now the question is, how abreast and acquainted and familiar are you with these
Yeah.
policies? You don't have to wait for me, a content creator, to come and break it down, although I'll do it eventually. But
Yeah.
go ahead
Take initiative. Yeah.
and that is what, even in this role, that is what I'm doing. I came into this role, and there are some things that I'm being trained on. But before they will train me on them, I've
Yeah.
already consulted people and I've learned it even before I get trained on them.
Nice. Nice.
You have to be strategic. The world
Yeah.
is not the same. Every day things are changing. AI is everywhere.
That's
People
true.
using it. You want to use it. That is fine. Use AI if you want to use it. How are you being strategic about it? How are you being
Yeah.
creative? Somebody mentioned somewhere, he says, if you are not smart, you can't use AI, which is true. How
Yeah.
can you copy the profile of a professor and ask ChatGPT to write a quote email based on it? It's too obvious.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, someone to use that same AI to draft a message to a professor, and the
Yeah.
professor will
I
accept
like
it.
it. Yeah. That's true. Yeah. What about those who only get admissions? So let's say I've been trying, all I get are admissions. What will you tell me if I want to get full funding to come to the US?
If you are coming to study in America on loan, don't come.
Yeah, of course.
Even in any other country, if you are going to study on loan,
Yeah. Don't. Yeah.
one of
Don't.
the people that were closer to me, anytime they get admission and even partial funding, sometimes I'm like,
Yeah.
what
Charlie.
us in this country,
Yeah.
the things I've been exposed to in this
Yeah.
country. If you are coming and you just have admission, they say, oh, you come and do some menial jobs and
It's all
jobs.
like that too. Hey.
How can a menial job pay your 10,000, 15,000
Exactly.
tuition? It can't.
Yeah.
If you don't have full scholarship or a scholarship that the deficit is like 10,000, nine
Yeah.
thousand, 8,000,
Yeah.
20,000, fine. At least get
Even
some.
20,000 is scary. 20,000.
It's,
20,000
yeah,
is
it's
scary.
too much. It's too much. That
10,000 is okay.
the
20,000.
first scholarship I got. It was just tuition waiver without stipend and teaching assistant. The lady who was helping me and said, Evans, throw it away.
Yeah.
Let's wait for the other schools.
Yeah.
I understand until I got here. But you are in Ghana. You paid some money to agent. They applied for you. They know schools that when they apply, they know automatically you get admission.
You get some scholarship, yeah.
Because you
and they're
got
chasing these things. They don't understand.
You think that is if you take that loan, the interest rate can take you 10 years to pay.
Yeah.
Sometimes when we are talking like this and you are being aggressive, they think, oh, you are come.
Yeah, they think you are negative. People like us, they say we are negative because who will not come and be like, oh, come, when you come, oh, you work and pay, oh, it's not difficult, oh, you get a GA from a different department. So they don't understand. They think
why I love this interview?
Yeah.
Is how genuine you are and how realistic you are. Or every question you ask me, and sometimes Obi bet me crash, then the person will be like, why is he sharing all of this? I have nothing to hide. It's God who is blessing me. If God decides not to bless me, that is when I know it has ended for me. But because I know that I have that guy, I don't keep sharing it because I want you to know it and also do something for yourself. It wasn't like this in the past, though. 3 years ago, when you call your uncle in abroad, he was not even picking the call. You now shy guy this year, you have all these YouTubers around preaching every time. It's common now. Still, you are not taking advantage of it. So what is there to hide? I would say just how it is. And that has been me. I'm open book. I will tell you I have nothing to hide. I know there are times where certain things I don't have to say it. I know it and I'm guided by that. But things I know will benefit you. Why should I? Because I wouldn't also like it when I come to someone or I go to somewhere I need information and they are trying to, I don't like it. So because I don't like it, I feel I have to be that person, swear, be open book and give people information is power. I'm telling you, just tribe on it. Admission without funding. What are you coming to do here? What are you coming to do?
Exactly.
Working in the dining and trashing stuff and that money.
How much will you make? If those monies are supporting a GA, then fine. But if you want to rely solely on those things, you cannot survive.
When you say it like this, they don't agree. I went to say somewhere that the only country where there are scholarships is US. So people they agree with me.
The scholarships in the US, man, is crazy. So many. Every school has so many.
My deficit
Erasmus Mundus is about Erasmus Mundus. They give scholarships to like 21 students or so every year. How we just imagine. In one school in the US, they'll give more than 21 scholarships. So just imagine.
$1,000. Take it to Ghana cities. How am I going to pay for this? Look at me, the guy in my crown. I came and they said, a very nice guy who would take every. I was looking at anything.
You're right. I actually was looking forward to this interview. I have thought about this interview for a while, but I just was taking my time. You and Sam Charles, I just wanted to take my time to do this interview because in the state of aerospace, there are not really many people like you guys. I have seen some people, and sometimes when I see certain things, I'm like, what are you guys saying? Like, hey, be careful. What are you saying? And a lot of people, they want the easy route. And so when people are telling them, oh, don't worry, work and pay is there. So they want to follow those people. They want to, but those who are telling the truth,
I said
they don't want to listen to those people.
It's on just a platform like where they invited me to speak, and I realized when I was talking, the guy came to counter me like something. So I realized, he was an agent. He has an agency in Ghana. So what I was saying, he knew what I was saying was true, but he didn't want me to send that message across to the people that were on. But Evans, I can't lie. I was saying
exactly.
So that when you come here, because I feel some of my friends did justice. They told me how the American life was like. So when I came, I was seeing it. I was like, oh, I think I know this. But also there's that part that I didn't know. I came to face it myself. I'm like, if someone told me about this, and there are times like that where I've done videos. I think there was this video series I did on imposter syndromes. The lady came to school and she called me. She was like, bro, thank you very much. This video you made really helped me. When I go to class, I know how to carry myself. I know how to do things. And if not for this So you see, I'll say just as it is. At the end of the day, if you don't agree with me, I'm just sharing my opinion. You can also share your opinion. I can choose to agree or to disagree, and we should be fine with that. It's freedom of speech. We are just expressing ourselves. There are a lot of things I'm doing in this role that contract-wise, I cannot even be on a podcast and say things and associate to school. So it's just be mindful of your environment, what to do and what not to do. But all this information we've shared here today, they're on the internet. I'm not giving any security information that I think when someone searches for it, they're not going to find it. You get the point. You are coming here with loan, empower loan. Congratulations.
And the message that the lady sent to you, the thank you message, this is all we are looking for. We are not looking for people to necessarily follow us. We just want to share what we have. If you follow us, fine. We will tell you the truth, because at the end of the day, when you come here, you are going to see that, oh, we were the ones telling you the truth all along. And for me, I believe in the fact that truth has endurance. If you tell the truth, even if people don't accept it, eventually it will become the common norm. Everybody will come to realize that, oh, this is actually the truth. So it's okay. We'll just be ourselves, and we'll keep going. Some Charles, when he says something, people insult him. I'm like, oh wow, like really? So it is what it is.
I think last year we had an interview.
Yeah,
so
I saw you interviewing
it's
him.
not been easy for him. Every time he says something, but I'm like, bro, someone is just sharing the ideas. Why did you even comment in the first place? If you, there are times I watch certain things, I don't agree with it. I just swipe. But you watch and you still come and comment and you insult people just because they are sharing information. And there's someone who is doing this from his free time. And time is money in America here. Time is
people
money.
People don't know how hard our lives are. People don't know. They think
that's what I said. When I take a picture right now, as I'm sitting, you and I, we are looking fresh.
But I find voice, so I find voice. I find voice, so yeah.
I'm copying from you. So once they see that, we are smiling,
they don't know. They don't know how hard our lives are.
Ask yourself, even the people we've helped or people that had encounters with that, ask who has even called to be like, it's been 4 months, I've not seen you, bro. Is everything okay? Which is fine. We are all selfish one way or the other. Everybody is thinking about themselves. I know that. But at the end of the day, it's just good that you don't expect anything from anybody. Once you see life like that, it's very good. Like you live good. And that's my life now. I don't expect anything from anybody. I'm doing my life. Whatever happens to me is between my God and the small space, my small circle. I don't need to praise me before I will know I'm doing good to myself.
Exactly.
You say something bad before I know that I said something bad. I'm just taking care of me, doing what I can possibly take care of myself and the little community that I'm building. That is all.
So if somebody wants to study communication studies in the US, apart from your school, are there other schools that you recommend for the person?
A lot of brilliant schools that they can look at. University of Colorado Boulder, even my caring school, Colorado State University, they have good communication programs. University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, they have a very good program. Illinois State University too, they are very good, especially masters. They don't do PhD, and they will really position you well, whether into industry or into research. You can also look at University of Minnesota, University of Maryland. You can also look at Alabama too, has a very good communication program. University of Iowa has a very good communication program. Utah State University, good, and University of Utah, very good communication programs there. Recently, I got one student, Kansas State University, very good university. Dakota, not Dakota University is also very good university. So there are a lot of them. But what I want to know is that always look out for schools that sometimes the attention is not there like that. And also we talked about the fact that the school you go into like matters in the United States. But I feel that most part is also what you make out of it, honestly. Someone can go to R1 or someone can go to Harvard and still become nothing in the world. Someone will go to a very low rank school and come out of school and be doing great things. So I also think at the end of it has to do with you, the individual.
Yeah, that's true. Is there anything else that I should ask you, which I haven't asked?
Yeah, I think you've
I've
asked.
asked everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. For the most part, I think the job interview stuff that
yeah,
I wanted to say a lot, but
yeah.
we would need like almost 4 hours to talk about it. Because I
Yeah,
will.
when you create those contents, yeah, I am actually interested in those videos as well. So
Yeah,
when they are
yeah.
ready,
A lot
yeah,
goes into it. Yeah.
yeah. Everybody in the study abroad space knows who EVAGAS is. So those for anyone who doesn't know you, where can they follow you?
So LinkedIn too, I'm very active there. My
Mm,
videos there have been going
okay.
viral one way or the other. I hardly
Mm,
talk there, but anytime I talk, I
yeah.
come with bombs. So um, Evans Asante Japan, LinkedIn,
Okay.
you find me there. Follow me. Let's connect there.
Mm,
And on YouTube to EVAGAS
yeah.
Online. I had issues with the old platform, so I tried creating a new one. But once
Okay.
you put EVAGAS Online, you are going to see the two accounts. You can still follow the two accounts.
Okay.
And then TikTok, where I have most of my following, is also EVAGAS Online. But you can
Mm.
also search for graduate school application, and it's going to come.
The two on YouTube, do you have, you said one of them gave you issues. Do you have access to that one as well, or
Yeah,
you have
EVAGAS on.
access?
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
access as well.
Yeah, I actually have seen that you have two accounts. They are all the same. But why don't you have different names, like the same names, like that can be?
So because sometimes people will search for it, I didn't want to give something new because
Okay.
then the marketing will be a little bit difficult. But
Mm,
once it's the same and they see it, they might end. I know the new one
okay.
is really going to increase in number
Mm,
once I am posting there and I'm not posting on the other one. And that's what I was trying to do. It got to a point I stopped posting on the old one where I was focusing and concentrating on the
mm.
new one. And I know it was really going to get traction. But building YouTube is very
It's not
difficult as
easy.
compared to
Yeah.
all the other platforms I've seen. So
Yeah. Which of the two are you very active on? Is it the new one or the old one?
yeah, the new one.
The
The
new
new
one.
one, which has the domain name as the graduate school application.
Oh, okay. Okay. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah. So thanks very much. I really appreciate this. I have learned a lot from your journey. Um, I know, you had several for funding offers, but then I didn't know the intentionality in the process. Like that is something that I have found out in this video. It's like you had to do so much. And this is what people don't see from the outside. They think, oh, Ivagas is so smart and he just, he did some magic and he's here. But the process, there is nothing like magic, right? It's about the work, hard work. And so I really appreciate this.
I was talking to someone very
Mm,
recently because the
yeah,
person knew when I was applying for the jobs, and the
yeah.
person said something. I said something. I was like, I am where I am today because of the grace of God. Like God just blessed me. Then the
Mm,
person was like, good. I'm not disputing that fact, but Evans, you put in the work, which was also true.
yeah.
So it's not, and that is how what people don't. It's not that I don't believe in daily manner, but
Mm,
bro, you gotta work. If God is gonna
yeah,
bless you, what are you showing for Him to bless you
yeah,
with? It's as simple as that. So
yeah,
I wanted a job. What comes with finding a job? Sleepless nights, losing appetite, and putting
yeah,
in the
man.
applications as many as I can, rejections upon rejections, and still applying for it. And God said, okay, good. Let me give you one.
Mm,
You get it?
Charlie.
You don't be there not doing
Nice.
anything and you think
Yeah,
no, it will not work out. Put in the work, then the other things will follow.
yeah, yeah. So, Evans, thanks very much, and I hope we get to talk again.
No problem. It was nice having to be on your platform.